guys, the Chosen Rio 64 here, back in again with another video. And this video will be my second to last video of the year. This one is going up before my last one. And Happy New Year's Eve, or whenever you're watching this. But today I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite Pokemon as of 2017. Now, as you can see, I got a new phone case, by the way. So I have a list of all of my favorite Pokemon in one box. So we're gonna start off with number 10, Snorlax. Okay, in this next segment, I mentioned a phone case. I forgot to mention that the phone case had Snorlax on it. Be warned if you're confused. Okay, so I have a funny story. So this phone case I have on me, which is the odd ones out, by the way, awesome. And I wanted to get a phone case before this, but then I ended up getting something else. I actually got the phone case, but it was for an iPhone 7S, so it was too small on me, on my phone. And I just love Snorlax in general. Like, he's so fat. That sounded weird. I should never say that again. Yeah. But Snorlax overall is a really funny guy. Even though he blocks paths, I actually think he's pretty funny. And also, another thing, he is probably one of, if not the best Pokemon roadblocks. Yeah, Psyducks, they suck. They're not good roadblockers, but Snorlax is the OG roadblocker. He blocks you in gold, silver, red, blue, yellow, crystal, and the remakes. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Snorlax. Next up we have Kartana. Yeah. It's the only Ultra Beast on this list, and it's for a good reason. Kartana gives me so many memories. Now I have an interesting backstory with my Kartana. It's a really good Pokemon. That's why it's an OU for a reason. And also, my brother had a Kartana called Swood, and he used to beat me down with that. We would always battle, and he would always win just because of Swood, because he put a Life Orb on it. And with that attack, it did so much. He just swept me with it. And after a while, he gave me one. And I've used it a lot, and it's won me a lot of battles. And that's a reason why I like Swood, aka Kartana. What? Next up, we have Garchomp, the only pseudo-legendary on this list. And it's also my favorite pseudo-legendary. Garchomp is an excellent Pokemon. I used it a lot during Battle Tree, and I've won a lot with it. Especially the Garchomp I'm using currently. It's really cool, and I love it. Garchomp is also the best pseudo-legendary according to MNJ TV. Pokevids. Just wanted to point that out there. And Garchomp overall, his design though, so bad. I know I'm not allowed to cuss because this is a family-friendly channel, but it looks so cool. Even though you shouldn't put this in ice because it's 4 times weak to ice, but still. At number 7, not 6, we have Magnezone. Now Magnezone is a really cool Pokemon, and I actually forgot all about it after playing for a while. Like, when I first started Pokemon, I only knew Magnemite and Magneton. I didn't know Magnezone. That's how much I like this Pokemon in the recent years. Okay, so this next Pokemon, to be honest, I freaking love. Okay, I'm sorry. I should never say that. But Magnezone is a pretty cool Pokemon. I don't know much to say, but I have to say, its typing, first of all, even though it's 4 times weak to ground, it's actually pretty good. And in Project Pokemon on Roblox, by the way, don't judge. I use it a lot, and I'm still trying to beat the Elite Four, but Magnezone is a great help. And if you ever play that game, I would definitely recommend bringing a Magnezone. It's one of the best Pokemon, in my opinion, you can use because it's good against Lorelei. I think that's the only one I really use it on. But it can be good for most of them, except the fighting one, Bruno. Don't do that. Never do that. Next we have Infernape, which is one of 3 stars that made this list. Now Infernape is a pretty cool dude. He's my favorite fire type starter, which means that the other 2 are either water or grass, foreshadowing. Okay, so Infernape, my favorite fire starter, obviously. I think it's actually better than Blaziken, but Blaziken with speed boost is muy bueno, or whatever you say. Okay, that was probably offensive, I don't know. But honestly, Infernape is really good, I have to say. This Infernape I used for a challenge. And also, in Sinnoh, I was watching Sunday's Pixelmon series, and he had an Empoleon that wrecked house. So I thought it was a good idea to bring an Empoleon, but no, Infernape would have been better. Oh boy, was I wrong. And yeah, overall, Infernape's a great Pokemon, and he's basically a better version of Lucario, but doesn't have a Mega, so it's not that good. Foreshadowing. Next up, we have Scizor. Now, Scizor is a really cool Pokemon. I say that a lot, actually. But his typing is really awesome. I think and most people don't like his shiny. I actually like his shiny really much. I actually like his shiny a lot. And also, a lot of people say Scyther's better than Scizor. I don't get why. And also, the Mega looks even better than regular Scizor. So, there. Okay, so, right off the bat, I just want to say, Scizor is probably my second favorite Pokemon in Pokken. Just wanted to point that out. Also, it's probably one of my favorite Megas behind Lucario in both situations. But it's not my favorite Pokemon because of how weak it is to fire. Yeah, that's literally my only complaint. But I've used Scizors a lot for SOS hunting and back in Sun and Moon, and it was a pretty good experience. Really good. Okay, next up we have the next Pokemon on this list, Sceptile, which is the second starter of this list, and it's also the only grass starter on this list. Foreshadowing. Sceptile is probably, it's really close to my favorite starter, but it's not for one reason, which I'll get to in a bit. But most of my inspiration for liking this Pokemon is from my friends and MNJ TV, Pokevids. He's awesome. But the only problem I have with Sceptile is it's Mega. He just flips around. Like, look at your opponent. You might miss more, okay, Sceptile? Oh yeah, and also shiny is really good, so that's another plus. And to nobody's surprise, we have Greninja at number 3. Now, Greninja is the last of the 3 starters on this list, and they're actually Infernape, Sceptile, and Greninja. If I had to do a top 5 favorite starters, they would be on that list. Definitely. Okay, so Greninja. Greninja is really cool. Its shiny is probably the best out of everything. All the shinies. And also, the only complaint I really have is that it does not need Ash Greninja, honestly, to be viable. Protein's better than Ash Greninja, in my opinion. But Greninja, overall, it's a really good Pokemon. I've used it a lot in competitive battling. Ice type, what? Protein is a really good ability to have because you can just switch into any type. And I use that feature a lot with Greninja because I always like changing into like an ice type or a psychic type or a dark type to throw my opponent off, but it never works because it still KOs. Another thing I have against Greninja is that it's so frail. If it was just like more bulky, but that at this point I'm just nitpicking. Okay, next up we have Gardevoir. Now Gardevoir, I don't even know why people I shouldn't get into this, but Gardevoir is an awesome Pokemon overall, and I use Gardevoir a lot, including in Insurgents, which I'm playing currently. Okay, so this next mon, Gardevoir. Yeah, Gardevoir is really cool. I use it a lot, especially in games like Insurgents. Yeah, it's really cool. And speaking of Insurgents, that game is really hard, and Gardevoir has actually pulled me through a lot. The Delta form is really good, except Earthquakes and Stone Edge and Flamethrower and Close Combat. But who cares? But we're getting off track. So Gardevoir as a Pokemon, it's really cool. The only gripe I have with it, is that what you say? I don't know. Is that don't ever search up Gardevoir's name on the internet. Just don't. Kids, if you're watching, don't do it. Just please don't. Okay, so before we get to number 1, which is the obvious, by the way, let me give 3 quick honorable mentions. Blaziken, he'd probably make 4 on my favorite starter list. Dragonite, second favorite pseudo-legendary. And, oh my god, Nuzleaf. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about Nuzleaf? Second random shiny. And I actually wanted a, what is it called? Pre-evolution of Nuzleaf. I forgot what it was, god. But this was probably the most luckiest I've gotten because I actually wanted this Pokemon. Unlike most other Pokemon that got shiny, besides the ones I hunted for. The Gothorita I got, yeah, it's pretty cool, but this was probably the most game-changing shiny I've gotten. And that's why it gets an honorable mention. Now to no one's surprise, number 1 is Lucario. Okay, before I start this segment, I just want to say that none of these Pokemon come close to Lucario. Lucario is literally none of these Pokemon, like all 805 Pokemon Riolu can stay combined is, I don't even know how to say this. Every single Pokemon combined is not enough to be better than Lucario. That's how much I like Lucario. And I have a lot of stories, so we're just going to shorten it up to 2. So, one story. So I was doing this challenge with my brother, and I was just doing and it was like generation battles where we had to do Gen 2 and Gen 4 Pokemon versus Gen 1 and Gen 3 Pokemon. I still lost that battle. But I actually got a shiny Riolu from an egg first encounter. Yeah, first. And that, to me, was probably my favorite moment with Lucario. Another thing I liked is probably that United Gamer, my favorite YouTuber, by the way, check him out, he's awesome, he's probably the best YouTuber, by the way. He needs more subs. Like, okay, I'm off track. But he uses Lucario a lot. Like, in most of his series, he gets Lucario. He names it Alex. And it's really cool how he does that. And, yeah, like, the fact that he uses Lucario just makes me like him even more. He's my favorite YouTuber, and he likes Lucario. But then he likes Feraligatr more, so it doesn't really count. But still. So overall, Lucario and Riolu are the best Pokemon ever. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smack that like button. And make sure to check out Andy May's stories once it comes out on New Year's. And I'll see you guys next time.